right, we can go ahead and get started. It's 4:04. We'll just let people join in later, and just so that you all know, this meeting or webinar is being recorded, and we will send you all the recording and all the important information in a recap email. You all can see my screen, right, Lace? Okay, cool. All right. We can go ahead and get started. So today we will be presenting about school parking zone process. It's a refresher webinar. We've done this multiple years from now, but we just wanted to give a refresher on how the process works and wanted to let you all what is new for the 2026 and 2027 school year. I am Priscilla Ranjitkar, and I'm the School Outreach Coordinator at CodeCycle, and I'm going to let my colleague Lais also introduce herself.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Lais Kadelka. I'm the School Parking Program Manager and also a Program Analyst at DDOT.
Thank you, Lais. And in our agenda today, we will be talking about CodeCycle, the School Parking Zone Program Overview, the School Parking Zone Prerequisites, the application process, and just talk a little bit about what's new for the upcoming new year. And you can ask any questions you have about the process. To begin with, if you all are not familiar with CodeCycle, we are an initiative of the District Department of Transportation. We provide leading resource for transportation information and option, and we encourage the use of sustainable transportation. We offer complimentary transit resources, consulting, we provide education services to all the DC organizations and commuters, and I work with all the district charter, private, and public schools. Our goal serves to decrease traffic congestion, improve air quality, and create a better quality of life in the DC area. So I will be passing it on to my colleague Lais. She will be talking about the School Parking Zone Program overview.
All right, before we start, here's some abbreviations that, in case I keep repeating myself, that's what I mean. By ANC, it means Advisory Neighborhood Commission. RPP stands for Residential Parking Permit. STC is the School Transportation Coordinator. SPZ, School Parking Zone. TDM is the Transportation Demand Management. Let's start with a quick overview of the School Parking Zone program. This initiative comes from the Daytime School Parking Zone Act that cover DCPS and charter schools, which are roughly about 300 schools. The school year program for 2026-2027 starts May 11th of 2026. The permits, they're valid for the full school year, and the grace period is in between August 14th to September 15th. There is a $50 fee to purchase the permit. And why this program? Half of the school staff, they live outside of the state, and they drive to work. And they do take chances for violation and parking on the 2-hour zones. And 2/3 of the RPP citations are within a 1/3 mile of a school. And I believe there's an image that is going to show here. There you go. You can go to the next slide. The permits, they're valid in RPP zones and one or more ANCs. They're issued to DC, Maryland, or Virginia tags, and they're issued via parkdc.com. We don't issue the parking permissions to the staff. We issue them to the school transportation coordinator, and they then do the distribution to the school staff. The cost for the permit, as I mentioned before, it's $50 a year. That matches the RPP annual fee. And then either the school or the staff pay for the permit. When it comes to the allocation strategy, during the first year of that school in the program, the cap is the number of vehicles commuting to school that we gathered this number from the survey, minus the existing parking spaces that the school has on site. The target is based on the DDOT's latest comprehensive transportation review guidelines, and the closer to the metro, then parking gets reduced. We see the distance to transit less than a quarter mile to metro. The target parking spaces per staff is 1 per 6, and from a half mile or minus or less than a quarter mile of priority transit is 1 per 5, less than a mile 1 per 4, and more than a mile is 1 per 3. The way that we distribute the permits is the school transportation coordinator creates a Park DC account as a school administrator. That account is provided with a pool of permits for the staff. Then the staff creates its own Park DC permits account as a school staff. The coordinator will then send an authorized code, and the staff uses that code to request a permit, and then the coordinator approves, and the staff or the school pays the $50 fee. This is as soon as you get in Park DC to register, you go to school staff admin. That's the screen for registration. Next, you need to create your account. You're going to put name, last name, email, create a password. Phone number is optional, I believe. And this is your dashboard. That's where you're going to get all the information and the codes that you are going to pass to your staff. And also, that's how staff sees the dashboard after creating an account. A quick reminder that the parking permit allows you to park on RPP zones. So if you see this red sign, which is the resident only parking permit, you can park on the red ones, and you can also park on the green signs, which are the RPP signs.
All right, thank you, Lais. So I will be touching base on the school parking zone prerequisites. It's the requirements before applying for the school parking zone application. So some of the benefits of the school parking zone program is the school will be creating a transportation demand management plan, so that the school will be working towards making the school more sustainable and more sustainable transportation friendly. And you also will be given the chance to encourage staff to switch to sustainable transportation options. The gas prices are going up, so this is the best chance for staff to use and maneuver towards sustainable transportation. And it's a faster initial implementation as well, less chances for the staff to receive parking tickets, and it's a faster implementation. It serves more people and more efficiently as well, and there's no loss of parking zone for the residences, since they will be swapping, since the residents maybe will be going to work, or they will be swapping places as well. And it's also flexible and adjustable as well. So what are the school parking zone prerequisites? So the first thing, if you're interested in applying for the school parking zone program, is to appoint a school transportation coordinator. We also call them STC. So they are just a point of contact at a school that will manage the school parking zone application process and other transportation related communication. So they can be anyone. They don't really have to be from the admin sector or anyone, but if there's a teacher who would be willing to handle this, they can definitely handle it as well. But they would definitely need to request with the higher up so that they have the permission to do so. And once the school transportation coordinator is being appointed, they can contact GoDCGo, and once the SCC contacts GoDCGo, that will be me. So I will distribute the commuter survey, and I will send you a link so that you can send it to the staff as well. So you will be working with GoDCGo with the survey, and the second step would be also to create a TDM plan. So TDM is the Transportation Demand Management Plan, and you can reach out to GoDCGo for assistance as well. So I will be able to help you with any of the processes or any of the questions or that you have about the TDM plan. So in order to receive a yes to apply for the school parking zone program, the school needs to reach a goal level transportation all-star level and or create strategies to get to goal level. So I know you don't see any, so you might be wondering what's goal level, transportation all-star level, but there are a couple of things that the school needs to provide or needs to accomplish before moving on to applying to the school parking zone program. The school parking zone process starts May 4th. Here it says May 4th, but I know Lais mentioned May 11th, so we will be starting May 11th. So sorry for the confusion right here. The survey threshold. So the survey threshold is an important part of the school parking zone prerequisite. The surveys must meet the required response threshold before you submit the application. So survey results will guide the strategies you develop. So for the TDM plan. So once the survey starts trickling in, you can start working towards the TDM plan. And once the threshold number has been met, you can work with GoDCGo to make sure that you add all the strategies to encourage staff. It doesn't just have to be staff, you can also encourage students and families to get to school in a sustainable manner. And the required threshold is based on the number of staff members at each school. For example, 50 employees. If you have 50 employees or fewer, you have to meet the 90% threshold. 50 to 99 staff would be 84%, 100 to 249 would be 70%, 250 to 499 would be 50%, and 500 to about 999 staff would be 37% survey threshold. And if it's more than 1,000 staff members, it would be just 20% survey threshold. The survey needs to meet that number, the percentage. And these are some of the questions. It might not look like this, but these are some of the questions that will be asked during the survey. And it's just to understand how staff will be commuting to school and to understand where they park, how they commute to school, and accordingly, the school is given the set amount of parking passes. So I know Lice already mentioned about the steps, but I'll just do a quick workflow of what what you will be doing for the school parking zone program. So you can start with the prerequisite, which requests the survey link and the TDM plan template after the school transportation coordinator has been appointed. And meet the survey threshold and create a TDM plan. Once that's done, you can meet with GoDCGo. You have to meet with GoDCGo to let them know about the strategies, how you'll be achieving it. If GoDCGo is always there to help you achieve those strategies and the goals you've created. And if you need any suggestions, GoDCGo is also there to help you as well. After completing the prerequisites, submit the application. GoDCGo will send you an application and you can submit it through it. So even if the school sends out or submits an application, the application is voided. So you need to go through the prerequisites before you send out the application. So DDOT reviews the application and the survey results. And once that's been reviewed, the school will be allotted parking passes, a number of parking passes depending on the number of staff like commuting to school, and the modes of transportation they use. Once the school receives the parking passes, the school, the STC, the school transportation coordinator, or anyone who is responsible for distributing can distribute the parking passes to all the employees. And it's all up to the STCs or anyone who's managing the parking passes discretion, who they're gonna give the parking passes to. And Lies mentioned earlier, but it's $50 per year. Work with, and once that's been distributed, you can work with GoDCCO actively to encourage staff to use sustainable transportation option. And you can also, while hand in hand, you can also encourage your students and families to get to school in a sustainable manner. So how will GoDCCO help with the survey assistant? I mentioned earlier that I will be giving out the survey, but create a survey link for the schools to disseminate to the staff, and reach out to GoDCCO to request updates on survey response numbers. So to understand where you have reached the threshold number, you can always email me, and I will let you know what the percentage of threshold you've met and how many more survey responses are required. The TDM plan assistant. We will be suggesting strategies based on the survey results. For example, if there's a high number of drive alone rate, we will give you strategies to reduce that number. And we will also inform the schools about the available resources. GoDCCO has great resources, so please take advantage of that. All the resources we have is free of cost. So the schools don't ever have to worry about any of the costs, and we will come all year round. And even if it's during summer and you have summer programs for the school, we are always happy to help you as well. And just meet with the school outreach coordinator, which is me, to get started. And we can tell you all about the process as well. So you've received a permit, now what? So you can use GoDCCO resources, encourage your staff to take sustainable transportation. We can host webinars and educational tabling events with GoDCCO to educate your staff about their commuter benefits, all the resources available, so that if they are already using sustainable transportation, they can get benefits or monetary value. So since they are already using sustainable transportation, if people are using driving to school, maybe there are incentives to use sustainable transportation. We can guide you to all of the resources, and we can do a presentation or educational tabling events. We will educate the staff on their resources and options. And we will also help you enhance your transportation benefits to reduce the drive alone rate. Maybe there are loopholes or anything extra that the school can do to encourage the staff to use sustainable transportation. That also helps the environment and also helps the school surroundings to be less busy, and the drop-in drop-off rate will be easier to handle as well. The school can also request a custom get-around guide for the school. A custom get-around guide is just a guide that has all of the sustainable transportation options that shows around the school, and it's custom and based on the specific school. So you can request that when we meet, we can also show you what it looks like as well. So we will be diving into what's new for the new school parking zone school year. So the new, so a lot of schools have applied in the past. So if you're in this webinar, if you're new, you still have to create a TDM plan. And if you've applied before and you did not create any TDM plan the past year, you will have to create a new TDM plan for the 2026-27 school year. And if you created a TDM plan for the 25-26 school year, you don't have to create a new plan. So this just means that TDM plans are created every other year if you're consistent in applying for the program. You will be meeting with GoDCCO before and or after the completion of the prerequisites, just to make sure that we can help you with the prerequisites as well as any strategies, and help you according to what the school needs as well and what's available at your school. And there will be a 3-month follow-up from GoDCO once the TDM plan has been submitted and permits are processed. This is just to make sure like you all know you are working towards the goals that you've created, and we can also help you plan or guide you towards getting those goals ticked off. And once that's done, so the 6-month written progress update. So the school will have to update GoDCO on how they've achieved the TDM goals, talk about the TDM plans and what has been done, what needs to be done for the next 6 to probably not going to be 6 months, but it's going to be the next couple of months. What will you be working towards? So you can talk about how our school encouraging staff, students to use sustainable transportation option, what strategies have been applied, and we can also talk about, or you can also request help from GoDCO to achieve the TDM goals as well. I will pass it on to Lice to talk about the digital permit and what if you've received a ticket.
So in August of last year, I missed this slide. There you go. DDOT transitioned to a fully digital system, meaning that all permits are going to be issued and verified electronically. And you don't need to print a permit anymore. That's what that means. You don't need to print a permit and display on a dashboard. Once you go on ParkDC, register and purchase your parking pass, you don't need to print a permit. We still have some cases of vehicles that are receiving parking citations, parking ticket. If you do receive one and you believe you shouldn't be receiving, please send me an email. That's my email right there, lais.kagalka@dc.gov. And we're going to investigate what's going on, and your citation more than likely is going to be voided.
All right. And we've also collectively added all of the school parking zone resources out here. You will also be receiving a PDF file of this presentation. So once you receive it, you can go through all the program guides, TDM plan template, school parking zone application form, school parking zone frequently asked question, as well as how to log into ParkDC permits. And that being said, thank you for joining us today. I know School Parking Zone program has helped a lot of teachers to not receive parking tickets, and we would also has helped steer them to trying to use sustainable transportation, and that is the main goal of the School Parking Zone program. And thank you so much for joining us. We have our contact information right here, just in case if you have any questions in the future. I have my Calendly QR code right here if you want to schedule an appointment with me, and all schools can be case by cases. So if you have any questions about like if there's multiple locations, you can always schedule an appointment with me as well. I think I saw a question right here. Let me go back. There you go, question. So there's a question, why have the permits been decreasing every year? The metro and our building have not moved, so it has always been the same distance, and our commuting staff has not varied that much. Last year was cut in half. So that's a very great question. So the main purpose of the school parking zone program is to encourage your staff to maneuver or try sustainable transportation options. And in order, you are creating the TDM plan. That is where you're adding all of the strategies. And with that being said, it's also being looked at how close the metro is, how the bus systems are around your school. So we're just encouraging the staff to use sustainable transportation. That's probably why the parking passes were decreased. And we also look at how many staff is commuting to school, maybe like if they are commuting to school already sustainably, for example, only like 2 out of 10 staff need parking passes, will just provide you with 2, not like a whole 10 amount of parking passes. So that there's a different variations of like why we cut down on the passes as well. And like I mentioned before, it's by school, case by case as well. And if you have any questions when you receive the parking passes, you can always question us as well, and we will be happy to answer your questions. So there's another question as well. I have heard at our school the issue has been getting the 80 to 90% response rate. Do you have suggestions on how to reach these numbers? That is definitely a very, very good question, because some schools are not able to apply for the school parking zone program is because they don't meet the survey response, the threshold number. So the threshold number definitely depends on the response rate, and I mean not the response rate, the employee number, and I would highly suggest. So the parking school parking zone program starts May 11th. So I would highly recommend you to start right away, or at least plan or think about planning for the application or like the program. So the prerequisites come first. You can always fill in the application later on, but the most important part that is stopping you from the application is the school parking zone prerequisites, which is the TDM plan as well as the surveys. The surveys are sometimes a bit challenging to get to the survey thresholds. So I would suggest if there's a meeting with all of your staff members, that's a great time for you to give like maybe 5 minutes. It's not even gonna take them 5 minutes to take the survey. So that's the best time. Also, letting the staff know that this is important to meet the survey threshold if they want the parking passes. So emphasizing on the importance, doing it in like staff meetings, or putting it in the newsletter, or like if there's an email chain, you can put it in the email as well. And that's some of the ways that you can get the responses rate up to the threshold number. And also, we're also willing to work with y'all to see, like, if there's like just a couple of responses that's not being met, we will try to consider the school, see like how you've planned and everything, and then consider giving out the parking passes as well. But our goal is always, your goal is always it always has to be to reach the survey threshold. But we are more than happy to work with you all as well. Any other questions that you might have? If you all don't have any question, and if there's any question while you apply for the program or you're doing the prerequisites of the school parking zone program, you all can always reach out to me or Lais. I am usually the one who works with the school survey and the TDM plan. So after that, the application process has been submitted. That's when Lais takes over, and she can answer questions about parking passes and anything about the application process. So if that being said, if there's no question, thank you so much for joining us today. We will send out a recap email with all the resources listed on in the recap email, and then a recording of this webinar as well. Thank you so much. I know it's spring break, but thank you so much for joining us. I had a few, okay, this just reminded me. So I just wanted to let you all know that only schools who are only public schools and charter schools are able to apply for the school parking zone program. And I have a question for Lais. So if the staff member is outside of the DMV area, which is the DC, Maryland, or the Virginia, if they are outside of it, can they still apply for the parking permits? Can they receive the parking permits?
That is a good question. I'm going to find out, and we can
Okay.
add to the recap whenever we send out the email.
All right, sounds good. If David has an answer for that, he's welcome to answer it. If he does not, we will write that information in our recap and we will send it to you as well. But thank you so much for joining us today. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy your spring break. Thank you.
Thank you all.